if Biden loses or if he wins, how significant is that to the future trajectory of the Democratic Party and how we get between now and the primary for 2024?
I don't know if I'm emotionally ready to discuss that because of what that means. I mean, I can't really register in my mind being stuck with Donald Trump for another 4 years, particularly because of COVID-19. But in terms of the direction of the Democratic Party, I hate to be this guy, but they're gonna have a lot of hell to pay. And they're gonna have a lot of hell to pay because they threw everything behind Joe Biden and risked all of this at one of the most critical times in American history. And so the Democratic Party is inevitably going to try to not change. But I think it's gonna be incumbent upon progressives to throw everything that we have to kick the bums out that lost to Donald Trump even after he killed 250,000 Americans.
And kick him out even if he wins. That's what I would say. I would say
that's the secret I didn't want to say yet. But yeah, we're coming for you either way it goes.
Yeah, I mean, again, I agree, and I would say that no matter what happens, one party, the losing party, is going to be remade, and fully remade, and change and split apart. And I think the Democrats have already been trying to do that with the Democratic Party, progressives have been trying to do that with the Democratic Party. And so I think it's really on us, like no matter how disappointed and disappointing a Biden administration is, no matter how many times they start pulling to the center, no matter how much Biden says, oh, the epiphany of Republicans is coming. Try to not let that phase what we want, what we need, where what the Green New Deal that we need, the Medicare for all that we need, the economic justice, the racial justice we need. Eye on the prize, because all of that, we have to make that kind of rhetoric irrelevant by making sure that we are pressuring them from the left.
Yeah, and it looks like no matter what happens with the presidential race, we're about to get a couple more awesome progressives in Congress, at the very least, Jamal Bowman and Cory. We weren't able to get Cori Bush on the show earlier today, but we are gonna be lucky enough to get her hopefully in Congress in the very near future. And so that group that has, let's keep it real, has been the only source of good news for years now. The squad is about to be double the size probably. And a lot of expectations for those individuals, hope that they deliver. But it also means that we need to start thinking to the next set of primaries. Who is it? The House is getting more and more strong progressives. What are we doing for the future of the Democratic caucus in the Senate in terms of getting rid of some of these, quote unquote leaders that have failed us so thoroughly during the Trump years?
If we actually take a look at what has to be done just to go back to 2015, which is insufficient. We can't go back, we need to go forward. But in order to just undo the damage that Donald Trump has done in the last 4 years, we're gonna need a radical set of Democrats in the Senate as well as in the House of Representatives. They have to be willing to expand the court. They have to be willing to look at repealing the filibuster, working on repealing or doing away and abolishing the Electoral College. And if we don't have people who are willing to go up there and fight for the changes that we know need to be done, then we need to be prepared to start primarying them immediately. So if it's November 4th, we start asking these representatives and these senators where they stand on these critical issues. And if they can't answer the question, or they refuse to answer the question, or they answer in a way that we don't like, we need to be organizing right now to primary them.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a nice courtesy to ask some of them the question, but I feel like we can start prepping for the primaries on a few of them. I mean, a few of them aren't gonna be the next cycle, but over the next 2 cycles or so, like we saw, assuming that she even ran again, we know everything we need to know about Dianne Feinstein. I would argue we did last time. Dianne Feinstein has failed us so thoroughly on every issue that matters. Chuck Schumer is, I would say, better, but still, what has he done in 2020? How has he stood up to Donald Trump over the past few years? I think that the primary challenge, the groundwork needs to be laid already. We can ask him questions, we can see how he pretends to shift over the next couple of years, but we need to get him the hell out of there.
Yeah, and immediately, right, if Kamala does win, I believe that means that Governor Gavin Newsom would appoint a senator in the meantime. So we gotta be lobbying him on who that appointee is gonna be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Any standout picks for that yet?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like anyone who's already a California congressperson.
I would personally, I would love to see a Ro Khanna, but I also
that's
think
what I was gonna say. But then what happens to his seat?
That's true.
I don't get how all this works. So then does he nominate a thing? This is very like it's like a storybook of appointees. Does it just keep going until we like just put like a stand-in house cat and just like cool?
I don't think so. I'm not worried about that so much, but it would be a possibility for like a Barbara Lee or a Katie Porter.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, I was gonna say Barbara Lee, but for the sake of longevity, I would look at someone like Katie Porter or Ro Khanna. I think they have all three of them have the progressiveness that's necessary to actually implement radical changes. And by radical, I mean just healthy changes to preserve America. We're not gonna survive more electoral college victories and a popular vote failure if we don't get rid of that system. So I think either of those three would do a great job.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.